never believed in ghosts, God, or demons until last night. I've always been a skeptic. No religion, no afterlife, no ghosts. Just the physical world and the stories people tell to make sense of it. I used to roll my eyes at haunted house stories. I'd laugh when people talked about angels or demonic possessions. It was all nonsense to me. Until last night. Now I'm sitting in a gas station parking lot, shivering violently despite the humid air, staring at my hands like they're not mine anymore. The skin feels too tight, the bones too brittle. Something followed me home last night. I don't think it came from this world, and I don't think I'm going to survive tonight. Let me explain. I live alone in a small rural house just outside of town. No roommates, no nearby neighbors, just trees and silence. A silence that used to be comforting, but now feels like a held breath. Yesterday, I got home around 8 p.m. I'd been running errands and was dead tired. It had just started to rain, a cold, misty drizzle, enough to make the woods look hazy, like a living shadow through the headlights. As I pulled into the driveway, my car headlights hit something standing at the edge of the tree line. I thought it was a deer at first, two pale, round shapes reflecting the light. But deer don't stand upright. I froze, my foot hovering over the brake pedal. The figure didn't move, didn't react, just watched. It was impossibly tall, unnaturally thin, and even from 30 feet away, I could tell something was deeply, fundamentally wrong. The shape of its head wasn't right, too long, like a stretched skull, and its arms hung too low, the fingertips dragging the wet ground. I blinked, and it was gone. Like literally gone, no sound of running, no movement of leaves, no shadow of a thing disappearing into the trees. Just vanished. 1 second it was there, the next it wasn't. I sat in my car for a long time, the engine ticking, the headlights slicing through the rain. I told myself I was just tired, a trick of the light, a hallucination. That's what I told myself, until I saw the footprints, leading up from the woods, up my driveway, to my front door. Bare footprints, long toes deep in the mud, as if something heavy had walked through barefoot. Slowly, they stopped at my welcome mat, and there were no prints going back. I stood on my porch staring at my door. I don't know why, but I knocked before opening it. A pathetic, hollow sound. I laughed at myself. What the hell are you doing? But when I stepped inside, every light in the house was on. Not just on, they were a blinding, harsh white. Every bulb, every lamp. The sudden brightness felt like a physical violation. That night I couldn't sleep. Every sound felt amplified, like the world had been turned up to 11. The wind groaning through the trees, the ticking clock, the creak of the old floorboards. But worst of all, the house itself seemed to be breathing, a low, constant hum, like a distant whisper. Around 2:30 a.m., the hallway light turned off by itself, just clicked off. The house went from a false brightness to a consuming absolute darkness. I got up to check the switch. It was flipped on. That's when I heard it. Breathing. Slow, wet breathing. A rasping, gurgling sound coming from my bedroom closet. It was too loud to be human. It sounded like something trying to breathe through a throat full of water and gravel. I froze. My body knew before my brain did. Something was in there with me. I grabbed my phone, turned on the flashlight, and yanked the closet door open. Nothing. No one. Just my old coats, some boxes, and a silence so profound it felt like a weight on my chest. I didn't sleep. This morning, I noticed something carved into my bedroom wall. It hadn't been there yesterday, I swear on my life. It looked like 3 long symbols, like crosses but twisted and elongated. The lines jagged and raw. They were burned into the dry wall, deep as if gorged with something hot. The smell of scorched plaster still hung in the air. And then my nose started bleeding. Just out of nowhere, a sudden gush of warm liquid. It hasn't stopped for more than an hour. Every time I wipe it, it starts again. I've gone through half a roll of paper towels. The blood feels thick, almost oily. I came out to the gas station for a break, just to get away. But even now, in a lit parking lot surrounded by people, I don't feel alone. I can feel it watching me. But it's more than that. Something is inside me. Not metaphorically, I mean literally. I feel like there's something under my skin. Like it's a parasite moving and twisting just below the surface. I can feel a cold pressure behind my eyes and a strange deep ache in my bones. It's wearing me, like a coat it hasn't zipped up yet, and I'm just the lining. And here's the thing that broke me. The reason I wrote this, while I was in the bathroom here at the station, I looked in the mirror and my reflection didn't move. I turned my head to the right, it stayed still. I raised my hand, it stayed perfectly still, hanging at its side. Then, after a long, terrifying second, its mouth stretched into a wide, unnatural smile. A smile that didn't reach its eyes, which were black just for an instant. I didn't smile. It smiled at me like it knew a terrible secret. Then it mouthed 2 words, its lips forming the shape slowly, deliberately. "He's coming." I never believed in ghosts, or God, or demons, but I believe now, because I think I brought one home with me, and it doesn't want to leave. If anyone's ever seen anything like this before, please tell me what to do. My nose is still bleeding. The blood smells like rust and burning paper. I think I'm running out of time.